a couple of years now, I've probably had one question more than any other. Not will Oklahoma and Texas fit into the SEC, but what are you going to do about the theme song? Taylor Hicks wrote it years ago, and he joins us now. Taylor, we heard it a couple hours ago. The commissioner and the president at OU heard it together here about 40 minutes ago. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations. I think, I don't know if they give out Grammys to show theme songs for sports shows, but you would be my pick.
Well, I appreciate that, Paul. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I am really excited about Oklahoma and Texas coming to the SEC. I've got friends that are OU and Texas fans, and they're excited. And I think that was the one question that I've been asked for a good while now, is that what I'm going to do with it. But you had to put Bevo in there for Texas. You had to put the Boomer Schooner in there for Oklahoma. Obviously, I wanted to put some horns in there, some marching band horns, crowd noises. It's the question that we were talking about off air is that how many more teams is Greg going to put in this thing? Because every time that they put these teams in there, I've got to go back into the studio, which is not a bad thing.
No, but Taylor, I know nothing about your world other than I'm your biggest fan. When you go in, you've got a song that people love, and by the way, you know this already, but of your demo, it's small kids who I think are the biggest fans of Call Paul. I mean, every time I run into a mom or a dad, they say, "Oh yeah, my 4-year-old just loves that song and knows every word." So how do you go back in there knowing that what you did worked? How do you add to it?
Well, I think you have to, obviously you have to start out with the teams and what those lyrics consist of, what their, obviously what their mascot is, and some words, some keywords that would obviously set off the fan base is liking it, obviously. But the idea is to, think about what your baseline is and what you've done previously, and obviously how you can build off of that. And obviously I wanted to speed it up a little bit. And then in TV talk, speeding it up a little bit is always, all the folks at ESPN and the SEC network are happy because, something that goes quick is always a good thing. So speeding it up a little bit, adding obviously some more energy. And I would be remiss if I didn't give props to Brian Sutton, who's one of my co-writers on Call Paul. He was with me in the studio when we actually wrote the song. Brian is one of the more formidable bluegrass and acoustic bluegrass players in the world, and he actually helped me write that song. I don't know if you knew that, Paul, but props to him and props to everybody in the studio and all the studio musicians that were able to make this happen, and hopefully we'll be playing it for a long time, as long as you're on the air, man.
Well, that's always the question around here, Taylor, so I hope it gets more than a one-day run.
Yeah, well, we'll see, man. At least, hey, it's running, and they're playing, and they're paying, and we're playing, right?
You are, I know. Taylor, seriously, we hope to be around for a while. For those who haven't heard it yet, and we'll hear it again in 10 minutes, what you mentioned Bevo, which I vaguely remember hearing a minute ago. This Boomer, is it? How do you pick where to drop that? I mean, there is a method to this madness, isn't there?
I agree. Yeah. Well, you have to look at all the lyrics and the lyrics going down the page and figure out where the teams actually stacked up as far as the lyrics go. We kind of wanted to do kind of a breakdown thing with Texas, obviously with the stampede of Bevo, and then obviously we wanted to talk about the Boomer Schooner. That's my question though is that Paul, I believe you rode in on a tractor in like 1982. Is Oklahoma gonna allow you to ride on the Boomer Schooner? Have you ever done that?
I have not done it. Actually, what you're referring to happened, I believe, in 1989. I said Auburn back in like the spring had no shot at beating Alabama. And I said, if Auburn beats Alabama, I'll ride a tractor into Jordan-Hare Stadium. Of course, Pat Dye heard about it. I rode a tractor into Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Well, I
Wasn't
think
that
the
hard?
schooner. I think the Boomer schooner's next, man. I think that's your graduation. You graduate from the tractor to the schooner. Man.
I'll do it if you do it. But
I'm
I mean
in.
the
I've never
Boomers.
been to Norman. I was actually planning on coming up there, but July 4th travel plans and
Well,
shows and stuff.
listen,
So,
everybody talks about the Austin music scene, but I've been here a couple of times lately. It's a pretty cool town. They've got a lot of nice places. I think we could get you a gig here.
well, only if you're going to be the opening act. That's you know how that goes. I think we did a
Taylor,
gig down in New
I
Orleans.
have seen you. I knew you in high school. I lived with you during Idol with your family and so many friends. I've seen you on Broadway. I've seen you on Vegas. I will see you in Norman, Oklahoma.
Yes, we are coming and we're rocking Norman. Boomer Schooner.
Taylor Hicks here. Taylor, before you go, let's talk about you for a second. I know you got a lot going on. I know you're on tour here in a couple of days, or when are you on tour?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm playing a show out in Seattle at the race at the Greenwood Raceway July 6th, and then July 4th I'm going to be at Lake Martin. I'm going to be at the amphitheater on Lake Martin. They have a wonderful show there, patriotic show, fireworks. Lake Martin's in Alabama, and then be looking for tour dates. I'll be starting back up right after the 4th of July in New Mexico. So yeah, the bus is rolling, and I'm really happy that Call Paul got released today. Congratulations to you, Paul.
Thank you. And my final question: we have about 30 seconds left. When you're doing these gigs, Taylor, do you ever break into Call Paul?
Believe it or not, my walkout, my encore music when I walk off stage is Call Paul.